Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Starfield Raw. This is episode number 44, the June update. We have a lot to go over tonight, so we're going to hit into the key stuff first. But before I do that, I'm going to introduce my co-host, starting with I'm going to just call you the Vulture Hunter, Rook. Why do you have to do that to me?
Because I have to. Actually, yes, I did hunt the vulture, and it was quite fun.
And we're joined, as always, by our Facebook promoter, Mr. Kilo.
Yes, Kilo, very, very excited about today. And happy Father's Day to all the dads out there also, because that's the weekend.
Oh, yeah, that is this weekend, ain't
Yeah,
it?
I wanted to bring that up, actually. I forgot to put it in the notes, but I'm a dad. Kilo's a dad. We all have dads. So shout out to all the dads out there.
I finally got biological proof who my dad is, so I'm happy.
They don't get enough credit in this world. Dads do not get enough credit. So
that's true.
I know I have a fantastic dad. I try to be the best I can for my kids. So that's all I got to say.
Heck yeah. Very nice.
So we're going to get into the June patch tonight. They did a nice little drop on us all of a sudden. No warning, like typical Bethesda fashion. And they released the Shattered Space trailer. So we're going to get into all that before we get into our gameplay. We're not doing any lore. We're not doing anything else except those two things. Well, technically three things. And we'll see how this goes. I know all three of us have our opinions based on all that's come out. We've had a little bit of time in the June patch. But before we get into the June patch itself, guys, let's talk about the Shattered Space trailer.
Let's.
What is your first impressions on it?
It looks really interesting. We were right. It's
the
Varun.
Of course we were right. What else?
No,
I wasn't sure I was prepared. I wasn't sure I was prepared for the Varun to go so hard, but it's Bethesda, so
They went with a lot of mystical and creepy vibes with this.
Do you know what it reminded me of was in Skyrim? There's the one mission where you have to follow Haircene in the spirit journey there, and then the one with the vampire. Wow, I'm drawing a huge blank. The vampire, you have to go to the underworld. You know what I'm talking about, where you get the nightmare and stuff. Yeah, that's I feel like Ghostbusters expansion for Starfield, maybe. I don't know.
It has that vibe. There's a lot of mysticism in there, and I'm thinking that there might be a new power because they show a couple times where your character is glowing that creepy, like lime green color. I'm colorblind as hell. That's what it looked like to me.
Well, it looks more like a prism color, and it looks more like a wannabe cloaking device on the characters.
No,
but I don't know if that's a power or if that's like a new alien species.
Well, they showed your character with that a couple times.
Okay.
But yeah, they also showed a lot of it, like the Varun in the beginning, where they go into that space station, everything's dead, and in the middle they showed a giant snake sculpture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was awesome.
During that, you saw the glowing like plant life or fungus or something on the walls, and then they showed the glowing creature coming after you.
Yeah.
And that was a prominent thing they showed in glimpses throughout the entire trailer.
I wonder if Andrasia is going to be a mandatory follower, or if you have the option to take it. Like, you can't do that and not take Andrasia with you, right? Like,
right. But no, knowing Bethesda, you'll have the option to take whatever follower you want. But I'm definitely taking Andrasia, of course. Why wouldn't I not?
Of course.
I'm taking my bounty hunter since she worships the Great Serpent.
There you go.
I'm curious if that's going to actually have a big play in this or not. If you did follow that.
Well, that would be excellent because, like Rook mentioned before, with the soldier in the first, like you get a couple of dialogue options, and we'll talk about the Trackers Alliance because I run a bounty hunter and I got stuff to say about that. But hopefully it's more than just follower of the Great Serpent. That hopefully it's a little more tied into it. I would hope it was based on everything we saw in the trailer.
Yeah. Here's some of the big things, guys. This is the big news. They did mention the fact that. If you look at the trailer synopsis, it's online. And I got this without even looking at the synopsis. I found this out after I wrote the notes. But we're definitely going to Dazra, which is the main Varun city, on the main planet Varun Kai. And they mentioned it in the trailer. You'd have trespassed on the home of the Varun.
So I guess my question would also be, follow up to that, are we just getting the Varun home planet? Or is there going to be a new section of stars for us to explore that kind of encompasses their territory?
They only mentioned the planet itself. They didn't bring up the system, but it doesn't make sense that you would go to the planet and not have access to the system around it.
Right.
But
other systems.
He's wanting to know if it's going to be more systems like how the settled systems that we know it have 3 planets each or 3 systems each. How many are the Varun actually going to have?
I can almost guarantee we're going to at least get one, but I don't know. No one knows because there's so little information about the Varun. I'm hoping for a few systems. I really want to see them expand the game like that.
Yeah.
Not
Plus,
just
Rook's going to need something to do pretty soon.
Right.
I'm only halfway done with some of the planets.
Okay, guys, it's also safe to assume that the Varun will not, in fact, be a faction quest at all. Faction quests are the ones that you can actually join the faction, every one of them. But this one, it's very clear that the Varun are the main enemy, the main antagonist.
Right.
So I am on the fence on that thought because it could very well. We don't know what the story of this is going to be.
No, this is just assumption. Yeah.
Right. We're all speculation. Yeah.
You could speculate that maybe the ending to this game is you reset the faction and actually become a member of that faction.
Right. And again,
or you
it
kill
circles back to right. Right. Or, it can circle back to, does your backstory play into it? Because if you start out as a follower of the Great Serpent, I don't know the exact name of it, but does that make a difference?
You know what?
You have the option to convert,
I'm willing to bet this actually, now that I think about it, it could go the same way as Crimson Fleet, where you could either go against them and stop them, or you can join them. That could be the way to go. I don't know. But to me, it looks like they're heavily protagonists in this, just off the trailer. But there's, you can skew a trailer to make it look like anything you want, and it could be far. Movies do it all the time. They throw you off course what the actual movie's about.
Have you seen the Office Terror Cut trailer? The trailer for The Office, but it's a horror movie.
I have. I'm a big fan of The Office, so I've seen all that.
I have a Michael Scott in the window of my truck at work.
Nice. Very, very nice.
You have a note in here that I want to talk about.
By all means.
Oh.
You say it does look like we'll get a new system to explore, obviously. With the Varun homeworld being the focal point, it looks pretty dark. That could also just be a filter. I don't think that's a filter because when we saw the screenshot of them making the planet.
Well, I think my main point on that was that they could be trying to make it look dark and spookier than what it actually is.
Right.
Based on all of the stuff I saw in that trailer, it looks like some of the planets as dark as some of the planets I've seen in the game. So it's not really dark and spooky. It looks like a war-ravaged place, in my opinion. It looks like the Klingon homeworld.
I'm wondering if they got a hold of
aesthetic to it.
One thing I'm wondering though is that the point of interest they showed at a few scenes in that trailer is that spire coming out of that floating rocks in a kind of like a dome. That's very, very similar to the temples. You can find temples that have that same exact aesthetic. So I'm wondering if they got a hold of Starborn tech and that's what they're using.
Here's a flip side.
Okay, dear listener, but remember what we said in a previous episode, dear listener, we did actually have this conversation about the Varun and the connection to the Unity. I'm not saying that's what it is.
What if the god they worship? Okay, let me refocus here. What if the great serpent that the Varun follow is actually an alien being that their ancestors met when they escaped Earth that actually created the artifacts to create the Millery, and that's how they're tied to it?
That would be crazy, but I mean,
or
at this point,
or better yet, the Varun are a faction that stumbled across humans that had been abducted back in our past. And
I was just looking this up because I've studied ancient cultures a lot, and there is an ancient religion based around a great serpent. One of the focal points being the Great Serpent Mound. So that could very well, and a lot of that religion is based off the fact that the serpent it's like a universal thing.
Yeah.
Bigger than our planets and is the creator of the planets and all kinds of garbage like that. But when I first saw the Varun, that's the first thing that always came to mind was that old religion. And like they've gone back to it.
Well, I mean,
go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say that, obviously you study ancient religions and stuff like that. A lot of religions have a serpent as a focal point or a deity or something like that. Norse mythology has Jormungandr. Christianity has, of course, the serpent, the Garden of Eden, and stuff like that. So, I mean, there's a lot of possibility.
A little fun fact about dragons is that every culture in history has had a dragon in its lore somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
and that's also been known as the Great Serpent.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if they're going the route of ancient aliens and saying that the ancestors were visited and passed by an alien race. Some of them left with them when they escaped Earth, and when magnetosphere was destroyed. A group of them came across these people. That's how they're tied into the Amilary.
They've been really good about staying away from sentient aliens or intelligent aliens. And if you look at, I've said it before in the past in the show, but if you look at the actual math behind the odds of finding intelligent life, it's astronomically low. Like I can't even describe the number. It's way more zeros than I like.
This will go into the raw and nerdy aspect, but my whole take on the thing is we can't just judge intelligent life based on what we know it as.
That's also true, but criteria has to be certain. It's a very fine point. Well, that's all just based off the fact that of biological life as we know it, like you said.
Yeah.
It's hard. And they said that the odds of intelligent life being able to be more advanced than us is so low that you have a better chance of finding a micro-sized diamond on the beach than ever finding intelligent life.
And the whole reason why I argue against that is we are in a galaxy with over 400 billion stars.
Yeah.
There is definitely going to be more intelligent life out there.
Look up the odds and you'll see for yourself.
Because
a lot of study on that.
Because all we can do is judge what we've seen close to us. We can't see the other side of the damn.
Okay, we're going completely offshoot here.
Is there any intelligent life in the patch notes?
Is there any intelligent life on our podcast?
Well, that's a whole different math right there. Oh boy! And they have definitely confirmed that there's going to be a lot of new weapons, a lot of new gear. They have not got into any of the new systems that they might be adding to the game, like hopefully dyeing your gear or being able to change the aesthetic of your gear. And they did give us glimpses of new weapons throughout that entire trailer. And I was going to pause and take screenshots, but I noticed 4 new weapons.
I wasn't paying attention to the weapons. A lot of the ones I saw were reminiscent to the rest of the Varun weapons. Just the same aesthetic, just different.
And yeah,
the one that kept. I just watched the trailer again a little bit earlier today after work. The minigun, or it looked like a minigun. This dude's just raking.
Yeah, like an energy minigun, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that was a big one. And there's another one that had extremely weird crosshairs, and it was not something that's in the game currently. And I noticed 2 others that were not being shot by the player, but by other characters.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get a lot of new goodies, and I have a feeling this is, like we said in the past, they've been calling this an expansion, not a DLC. So I'm expecting a lot of big stuff, like the patching now that we've been getting, and the last 9 months, all that combined is not going to compare to what we're going to see on the expansion.
What I'm expecting to see on the expansion is 100 more planets.
You're dreaming, dude. No, that's going too far. I'd be ecstatic if they put in like 2 systems of like maybe 12 planets.
That's a really big system, considering most systems don't have that many.
3 systems with a total of 12 planets.
There you go.
You said 3 systems with 12 planets.
You misheard there, sir. Anything else we want to speculate on this before we move on to the patch?
Nah, I'm just super excited about it. And Bethesda's got a really good track record for this sort of mysticism in their games. You know, we saw it in Skyrim, obviously. We saw it in Fallout, even with like Cabot House and things like that. And
this one, they've only hinted at it so far with the Starborn and the Power. So I'm curious to see how they're going to expand upon that.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys. So the June patch released right out of the gate. They dropped the trailer and then immediately went in saying, "Oh, by the way, tonight we're dropping the patch." Now, we thought that, we're going to get something about the June patch. We're going to get something about Shattered Space. We didn't think they were going to drop it that night.
Yeah, that was surprising when I was watching that video. And then right at the end, and releasing tonight.
Our Discord blew up when that happened. It's been nuts.
My group blew up too. Yeah.
And then crazy. Everybody. So here's how you know Starfield still has a lot of players. I have 1 gig download speed and upload speed on average here at my house. My download speed for this was 300 kilobytes.
I didn't get a chance to download it until late that night. I had plans Sunday and Monday, and if I would have known they were going to drop this, I would have canceled those plans but I did not know.
That's fair.
They did a really good job of keeping that quiet.
So all day yesterday after work, I played it. I was on Discord with Rook over here, getting into the Tracker Alliance. So what they did is they launched the creations finally.
The creation kit is out.
Now the first day there was maybe 20 or so mods. I looked today and there's like 50 or 60, and it's growing steadily every day.
Now my issue is I can't download many of the mods because they have to be achievement friendly, and until I unlock the achievement for visiting every star or every planet, I am not going to be able to install mods.
How did I unlock that one and I don't explore like you do?
You just got to touch down on 100 planets. I've done that, but I haven't. There's one achievement for exploring almost every planet out there.
Yeah. Well, I already broke that a while back, so I don't care. I'm going nuts on it. I'm going ham.
Yeah. There you go.
I may let Kaylin run the mods and run Rook as my primary guy trying to unlock that, but we'll see. I haven't really seen any that I really like except for a companion.
I have. I'll bring that up in my play. There's a few that I'm really enjoying.
Yeah, I got a few too. Yeah.
And we're going to be...
I got one thing to say about mods, though. Hey, Bethesda, you're owned by Microsoft. Put in the Halo Master Chief armor.
Well, actually, anyone could create that. Speaking of which...
we got the Mando armor.
I did install the creation kit. I know that engine. I can't say why I know that engine, but I know it. I've used it, and I'm going to be using it again. I am going to be making a mod. I just got to get in there and do it when I get time. And it's going to be... I already have it set out. Hear me out really quick before we get into this. Vessel 3B, there's going to be a settlement with a shop in it. I'm going to make one of us a shopkeep. There's going to be a bar. Archon's going to be the barkeep. He's going to be giving out quests. Kilo's going to be in there giving out quests. So I'm going to talk to him off the air about what kind of quests he wants to do. Rook's going to be in there, and he's going to be giving a lot of exploration quests. I'm going to be in there, and I'm going to try to figure out how to make it a sniper-required quest line.
Nice. That's awesome.
And that, from everything I saw and researched, that will be friendly towards achievements.
We need to put Venus and Illness in there.
Maybe. They're OGs.
They're OGs.
Yeah, OGs.
Well, let me get in there and get those in first, and then we'll talk.
Well, you said you need shopkeeps.
True. I could put Venus in as the main store. Oh, no. I'll have Illness as the weapon shop, and I'll put Venus in as the general store.
And you have to put the little icons above them like on the old video games.
Oh, no. I'm not a good modeler. I can't 3D model very well, but I'll work out something.
We'll figure it out.
So yeah, creation kits came out. There is a little controversy we want to touch on a little bit, and that's with the microtransaction for the Vulture quest. And the fact that Bethesda is charging $7 US for a small quest line. What are your guys' thoughts on this?
They are getting review bombed heavily because of that. I'm okay with it if the quest line is long and engaging. If it's like a really, really short quest line, like this quest line was short for the Vulture. However, it was time consuming because I had to take my time trying to fight this guy. So,
I almost killed him on the very first shot in the very beginning of it. And I'll get in that later.
Yeah, I'm not built as a sniper, sir.
I turned around, took one shot, and his health went, yoop. He ran.
I'm running a bounty hunter who uses pistols. You know how hard that fight was? I had to pull out a mag sniper and go into a sniping battle with him.
I am okay with them charging for this. I think it should be a little bit cheaper. I think $5, even though it's only a $2 difference, would be acceptable for a lot of people. And there is, I think, a little imbalance in the pricing of a lot of these mods. Like you can get a shop in Neon for $7, and you get another one that gives you a whole different habs for the Crimson Fleet habs, like 7 different ones for the same price.
Yeah.
So there's a little imbalance going on there, and I think it's a lot of the creators being greedy. I am all for supporting these creators, by all means. I think my mod might be free for the sake of the show. I haven't decided yet. Depends on how long it takes me, but most likely free. I think they're just being a little greedy, some of these creators, so it's easy to pass over those without giving it a second thought, unless it's something really, really good they've spent a lot of time in that's going to make a big difference, like a whole quest line. Yeah,
Right.
or a companion that is fully professional voice acted.
Yeah, there you go.
And speaking of which, I'm going to be
That's worth it.
recording. I'm going to be recording snippets from all of us for the quest givers. They
Just
have to.
give
I
us-
have to have them voiced. So
Just give us lines you want us to
No
say.
problem.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I will.
We will
Absolutely.
cut our teeth in voice acting.
I'm going to give you guys set
Yes,
lines
indeed.
for the quest, but I'm also going to give you guys a little free form to do your own lines. I'm going to throw in as a random speaking, non-vulgar.
Cool.
Damn it.
I love it. Damn it.
So we'll get that scheduled when I get that set up.
But no, there's a companion that you can buy on there for like 600, 700
Yeah.
credits. So $6-7. She is fully professionally voice acted. They actually dug into the lore and made the lore really well. I'm not using her right now because it kills my achievements.
Right.
But unlike Nexus mod stuff, you can disable the download and actually start from a previous save that right before you activated, and so it doesn't show the C by your title of your job. So if you're playing a saved game and yours says your save title and then in parentheses or brackets it says the letter C, that means you have it's saved with the achievements locked out.
Yeah. Well, I think I just want to throw my head in here a little bit. And I think a couple things are happening right now. One, the Creation Club is relatively new.
Yes.
I believe it came out first on Fallout 4, and then it followed on Skyrim.
It launched
I think.
Skyrim first. That was their
Low
test
Sky.
bed.
Was it Skyrim? Okay. Well, here's the thing about I think a lot of these, because I've been hearing a lot more than just the problems with the Vulture being a microtransaction. A lot of people are taking offense to the fact that there's all these mods in there that are basically cost real world money. And I wonder how many of those people have actually played Bethesda titles like Fallout 4 and Skyrim before, because this is something that we had already seen. The only difference with Starfield right now is that it's all in one box. They don't have it separated from like it was on Fallout 4. You know, some of these people are really good at what they do and they deserve to be paid. And, you know, I got no problem throwing a few extra bucks to an independent creator, whether or not they're working for Bethesda, just to get some really cool content for the game. It's not like you have to buy these mods to win the game, or you're buying these mods to compete better against higher level players. You know, it's just for your own pleasure and enjoyment. And let's not forget that there is, for every Creation Club mod, there are dozens of great free mods out there that we also have access to.
All right, so people when Bethesda launched the creation kit for Skyrim, there was this same huge backlash over costing. But there's two reasons why they do it. One, it's extra coin for Bethesda, so they can pay for the large staff to keep improving the game. But two is to encourage creators to put their best work forward, knowing that they're going to get something out of it. Thus is why Skyrim is the #1 modded game of all time, has the biggest modding community of all time.
They had some really good mods in that game.
After about a month, people were like, okay, I get it now. And it was done, and it kept going.
Right. And I think it's worth noting that these paid mods, you know, these are vetted by Bethesda. These have been checked out for stability issues, for any glitching issues, anything like that. So technically, you're taking less of a risk if you're using the paid mods versus the free ones.
Go for the check-marked mods, because that means it's a verified creator.
I'm going to let a couple of our listeners beta test my mod when I get to that point.
Heck yeah.
So I got to make sure it's going to go through approval. Because that's going to be key. I'm going to be putting it through the creation. I'm not going to do it set alone.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
And the first... Yeah.
I'm not against the microtransactions per se. It's, like I said before, if it's a quest line that is extremely short and adds no value whatsoever to the story of the universe, then I'll be upset. But like this Vulture one gives so much backstory to the Freestar Collective.
And a pretty kick-ass new weapon.
Yeah, but the lore guy liked it because I haven't done it with a Freestar native, but I have done it after doing the Freestar Collective quest, and it does talk about the corruption and everything, and it gives more backstory to the Freestar Collective. And so To me, it was worth the 700 credits.
I read everything that I did through everything, including the free one as well as the Vulture. And there was a lot of backstory. If you take the time and look at the pads, there's a lot to it. And a lot of stuff that hinting for future stuff, too.
Yeah.
Like I found a pad that was showing at the chop shop where you have to go, when you go in there, and it shows you, if you look on the computer, all the different jobs I've done. And one of them that caught my eye was an unknown buyer that wanted their ship to look exactly like the Razor Leaf. No questions asked, and they did it. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I remember that one because I actually read that whole terminal.
Oh, yeah, I did too.
I didn't read a lot in that mission. I had a hell of a time. Ballistic weapons and 0G.
A sniper and 0G. Absolutely terrible.
Bang! There I go.
It was testing my skills big time.
Oh.
All right, so speaking of which, the Tracker Alliance is out. The first one mission is for free, and I guess that, from what I understand, this is actually a continuing quest that you pick up throughout in the game. I only did the first part, but from what I understand, there's other parts that he'll contact you, and you have to go do little quests for him, little side things.
Nice.
I'm waiting to see that. It is out, and it's pretty decent. The gear you get at the end, I threw away. To me, it was garbage, but it's an interesting looking suit.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you can mod a suit to be decent, but I don't have any of that stuff. I don't have suit crafting done.
That poor ship is horrible ship, though.
Yeah, it's a junker.
Well, I mean, it is.
Quite literally. It sounds like it when you're flying it.
It's a very amusing junker.
It is.
But no, I actually enjoyed it. It's a great way to get you into the Trackers Alliance.
So you guys like the way they did it with Trackers Alliance? What they done with it?
Dude, it makes my bounty hunter useful.
It was great.
I think it's fantastic.
Absolutely.
They missed the ball on one spot.
What's that?
A perfect opportunity to use the brig.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because when you catch people,
yes,
they just stay down there on their knees until the other person comes and picks them up.
You're right. That is true. I wonder if they did do that, but had issues, so they just did it the other way.
Yeah, maybe.
Huh.
Because exactly. I think it was the kid in Discord just now before we started recording was talking about that. Like, we want handcuffs and we want a usable brake. Like, give it to us.
Oh, we know that Bethesda's listening to us, and we'll get into that why in a second.
Yes.
But what was I getting at? Okay, yeah, what a lot of people don't know is if you go into the basement Alliance headquarters in Aquila, there's a whole new mission board down there.
Yeah.
I didn't know that at first. I found that out later. But
yeah, there's also a dude to get cool stuff from.
And that's where I found out that my little fighter that I built at level 40 for my bounty hunter cannot take on a level 32 hyena.
So there's something new they added as well that was really cool. That was the bounty scanner. So you could use your scanner in cities, and you can flag people to see if they have active bounties on their head.
Dude, that surprised me. I went into Aquila and I'm like, okay, where's the Tracker Alliance headquarters? All right, looking around. Oh, I'll open my scanner. And the person walking directly in front of me said, wanted, dead or alive. I'm like, oh, this is new.
And if you click, if you click on them like you're trying to scan them, it'll tell you what they're wanted for.
Yep. I had a little bug though. So I had a little incident where I walked out of the Tracker Alliance. I forgot the first mission, right? And there's a guy walking right by you who was red. So I was like, oh, goody. Flagged him, talked to him, failed the persuasion. So he pulled a knife on me, and I pulled out the gun I had already equipped, which happened to be the stupid grenade launcher. So I took out half the entire square, incurred a gigantic bounty for killing half of Aquila. So I had to reload it. And when I reloaded it, it wouldn't let me talk to him again.
So there is bug. That bug is a common bug. I had that when I first walked out of Aquila. Out of the Trackers Alliance building. What you have to do is you have to go back into a previous save right before you talked to Agent No One.
Yeah, I didn't do that. But I've done way too much after that to do that. So, oops.
Yeah.
But so, it's a known bug.
It's an interesting way to get some interesting credits. You can either go get them peacefully or you can murder them. And it's a legit murder. So you don't get in trouble.
So I did one of the mission boards down in the Trackers Alliance. And I went to this one place where they want somebody alive. You know how long it takes to knock somebody out with an EM weapon when they're wearing EM-resistant armor?
Oh, yeah. I'm guessing you failed persuasion.
Geez.
There was no persuasion.
Oh, that's even worse.
They were fighting right off the bat. So some of those missions are utilizing the points of interest you go into where there's like a bunch of spacers and stuff. Now one of those spacers is somebody that you may have to keep alive for the bounty.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Oh, that's wild. No, that sounds
Yeah.
awesome.
I'm a sniper murderer.
Oh, there's plenty of. All you do is you don't select the ones that say condition alive.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, you want them
That's a
dead?
trick.
Done. I'll kill them while they're on the toilet. I don't care. They added new melee tiers and now the ability to modify melee weapons. I unlocked the first blade modification because I had the materials for it, but I haven't done anything else. But it's very interesting. Like my favorite weapon I have right now, that Watashi, I can actually mod it. Yeah, I can actually mod the blade on that thing to be actually get significant damage increase. And I've noticed that when I've been picking up melee weapons, you can see on the name the different tiers, like you would on guns, but just named differently.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, I wonder if I can now have a successful melee character.
Yeah, it looks like it. Because some of these melee weapons are getting pretty intense. If you fully mod out a melee weapon, like a Varun Pain Blade, for instance, it can go from 160 to about 300.
So rivals actual weapons now.
Getting there. It's getting there.
So I think, in my opinion, in many cases, melee weapons should be allowed to be weaker. They just have to bypass a lot of resistances. Or be allowed to bypass resistances because of how close you have to get to the opponent.
Yeah, and you can add poison, you can add fire or heat to your weapon. There's a lot of different blades you can do and the handles that modify it. It's really, really good that they did that. We've been saying that they need to fix melee a lot. This is a step in the right direction for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing, they've listened to us, we can craft ammo.
Yay!
Holy crap! I immediately went in there and unlocked all 3 tiers of ammo crafting. There's unfortunately the 40 millimeter. I can't think of it. XPL. So
yeah.
My ammo for the Bridger. Unfortunately, it takes a lot of mats to make 1 round, but I can still craft it. Most of the ammo awesome. you can craft in bulk from 6 to like 16 per craft, so and take less ammo or less mats. I understand it though; it's a grenade launcher, so you're building grenades.
Well, yeah, they're not going to make it too easy on you.
They need to let you have a chance of critically failing while building them inside your ship.
And I did notice that the weapon shopkeeps now have resources tab, and they'll sell stuff for ammo crafting.
That's awesome.
I really don't care. The weapons I used run 777 or it's pure. I can't remember the name of it. It's 45 XI, and then it's the last one. Oh yeah, it's a plasma particle beam weapon, so it's not using any ammo.
The fuses.
Oh yeah, it uses fuses. That's right.
Every gun has ammo except for the cutter.
I've given up. I'm starting to give up utilizing my Varun weaponry on my bounty hunter because it fires so slow. And with a pistol, I need half a really decent fire rate to run around shooting things.
Man, I'm a hard target purist. That's my go-to. Even flying around that stupid 0G base, I was still sniping.
I run with the mag shot. My only gripe with the mag shot is that the crosshair does not line up with your actual character's targeting look. So you actually have to look down the sights to aim at something you want to pick up or switch weapons.
I'm Beowulf all the way, set up as a DMR. It's perfect. Very versatile.
I have a Beowulf on my Explorer Kalen.
So this is all, and I was so happy that we didn't have to do another beta and wait 2 or 3 weeks. That's the worst part.
I was just so surprised with how much they added big things into this update. It's just like, you know what? We have been listening. This is why we haven't been talking. Bam.
It was funny. If you look at the video for the June patch, when they mention ammo crafting and they say, so we've been listening to some of our community and we have implemented this into the game. I was like, yeah, you're welcome. But yeah, they did a lot, and they did a lot of bug fixes. I looked through them, and there's a lot of good ones, but nothing that's too significant to bring up. But there's a lot of changes and fixes. Yeah. And I've noticed that my performance in the game's a little bit better as well. Looks a little bit more shiny.
Yeah, I would say so too, even on console.
But the last 2 updates that we've gotten have been actual content update in a big way. So it's exciting, and I can't wait to see what's next. As the July patch, I'm expecting something big again. You guys have put yourself in that corner, Bethesda. You got to continue this trend.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they've also proven they will wait a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's worth it.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
And a lot of people were complaining they didn't get to see anything about vehicles. At first I was thinking that they're just going to release it with Shattered Space, but then I thought, no. What if they're going to be releasing a unique vehicle in the Shattered Space? So they have to have that functionality in the game. So my brain went immediately to the July update.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's either that or they're going to wait until August.
No, July. I wanted July.
Just because of that, their 1 year anniversaries when we get vehicles.
Okay.
No, I expect new missions. I expect
Mr. Howard, cover your ears. Don't listen to this part.
Now, I don't know anything about a potential June update because they were talking about one that just released randomly today or this weekend. So,
yeah, the June patch came out today.
Yeah.
Or this Sunday. Sorry, days ago for you guys.
But July, hopefully they do a patch and hopefully they add some more stuff.
We're going to get one.
I want tameable beasts.
Give me a dune buggy. I want my dune buggy.
See, I want my vehicle.
I want one of those flying birds. There are vehicles. I'm like, I want birds.
And I want my space stations, okay? Come on.
Space stations, indeed.
That's now, like a big thing on my list.
That one I could see them waiting until either somebody in the mod community creates that mod or Shattered Space.
Yeah. No, it's going to be happening. It's going to happen. And one of these days we're going to do an episode of our wish list. We just call it the wish list episode. Like our top of the wish list all the way down. But for now, let's get into our play, guys.
Let's do that.
We actually have play, guys?
We do.
Whoa.
Play, guys. Yeah.
What have you been doing?
I've been playing video games.
In the game?
I've been playing video games.
Should not need to get specific with you here.
I've been playing video games in the video game.
Be your daddy.
Hey, if this was Fallout 4, I would be well within my right to say I've been playing video games in a video game.
It's not, though. We're playing Starfield, a future game that doesn't have video games. They have board games, though.
Yeah, I wish we could play those board games because some of them sound interesting.
Yeah, I know. I was looking at those.
Some of them do look cool. Yeah.
All right, so obviously, from what everybody's heard, I've been heavily involved in the Tracker Alliance with my bounty hunter. Vulture Quest was...
Let's try to avoid spoilers on this because it is brand new.
All right, spoil everything. Got it. So I've been doing the Trackers Alliance quest with my bounty hunter, which is awesome because now my bounty hunter background outside of one part of one side quest actually now is a big thing for her. Went up against the Vulture. As you heard us talking about earlier, he's a really good sniper. Pistols don't work too well when you got to shoot them at range.
When I saw that he was a sniper, I immediately bought it. No questions asked.
So you know
the problem.
You know what the problem with that gun is? Up close and personal, he can hit you and kill you in one shot. Especially when everything's set to extreme.
Good thing I was far away from him when I killed him on extreme.
Well, I learned that the hard way the first time. The fifth time I went up against him on in the mission, I actually got a mag sniper and had a sniper standoff. I was slightly more accurate than him as his shots went over my head and I'm hitting him on crosshairs. And I have to
Wigit like that.
I have to apologize to Budsky. Yes, I know I said the mag sniper sucked.
It still does.
But when you actually have time to line up your shot and use that crosshair properly, it only took me about 5 hits to get him.
Called sniping?
No, I'm talking about how it doesn't cross properly. It stops right before the crossbar on the scope. It throws everything on.
A known scope in the sniper community.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I had to remember how to use that one. And once I remembered how to use that one and sat there charged for a while, it got into a I'm hitting you, you're not hitting me type situation.
Yeah, my hard target was gold against him.
Yeah, I picked up this mag sniper during the mission, so then I ran away so he didn't kill me. Because she doesn't use snipers very often. In fact, I sold the mag sniper as soon as I finished it. and I'm thinking about selling the. I'm gonna mount this one, the new sniper, in my weapons bay.
Nice.
Yep, I highly recommend it. I haven't played it without the Freestar Ranger background undone, so I'm not sure how that's going to be. And I haven't done it with my soldier, and I want to see how that will turn out that way too.
I will mention though that there is a unique weapon when you finish the vulture that is not anywhere else in the game that is worth your time and effort.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you do energy weapons.
Ooh.
Just be prepared to die from it a lot if you're an up close and personal player.
It's something that I mentioned a few episodes back that should have been, that I was surprised wasn't in the game and now is.
Found out how powerful that rifle is, though.
I didn't say it was a rifle.
I was running around. Everybody knows what it is because it tells you in the. But no, I was running around to go do a bounty and almost lost the bounty because I hit the guy right next to him and one shot him on extreme difficulty.
Oops.
Yeah. Ouch. Then I found out my small fighter against the missions, like I said earlier, it cannot win in a one-on-one up close and personal fight. It just doesn't have the hole. I start getting beat and my bar goes from full to 0 in like 3 seconds. My shields take a beating.
That's a problem with those small fighters. You got to build them for full agility and speed.
Yeah, and the problem is the way I dogfight is I can't stay behind them like real dogfighting. I gotta remember I'm in 360-degree space where I have all this movement.
Oh, I still do.
And I haven't figured out how to properly stay right behind them because they use their thrusters and swing around really fast.
That's why I build my ships for the speed, so I can stay with them. I'm behind them all the time.
Oh, staying with them's no problem. It's them swinging around as I'm waiting for my boost to recharge. I don't have enough speed to get around behind
outmaneuver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Also, I did more exploring and ship designing. I'm loving the ship designing. With my character, Kaylin, I created a wannabe Millennium Falcon-esque design that I think looks better than the Millennium Falcon.
That's sacrilegious.
I've been heavily into shipbuilding and ship designing and trying to figure out how I want to design this ship because I want to add more to it.
I've been in love with shipbuilding since the beginning of the game started. I did a shipbuilding tutorial several months ago. It's on YouTube. Look for the widget. I even did a base one too. Sorry, go ahead.
The creation kit actually has some new designs for their shipbuilding too. There is a person who created a futuristic look designs to their.
I love that mod. It's one of my favorites. I'm going to bring it up.
I haven't gotten that one because, again, it's not achievement friendly. And on Kaylin, I'm not 100% sure if I want to do that yet.
So if you're the
They're
creator
talking about
of
Avon Tech, by the way.
If you're the creator of Avon Tech mod, hit us up. We're going to bring you on for a little bit.
That'd be great. Yeah.
If Hopefully you're a modder and you would like your mod to be showcased, give us the mod for free. And we will try it out and we'll talk about it. If it's good, it'll be on the air.
Heck yeah.
Let's see. What else did I do? Don't forget, there is in the Tracker Alliance downstairs, there is that, what are they called? Merchants that only uses that certain coin you get from Tracker Alliance missions.
Astras.
Yeah, Astras.
Yeah, Astras.
And I'm still, like I said, I'm still debating on if I'm going to run mods.
I said it from the beginning. As soon as they release the creation kit, I'm going mod heavy, and that's what I'm doing.
I might change it up, but I got, well, the problem is I still need to finish running with Barrett so that way I can get his full backstory and I can actually go with figuring out his backstory for our next episode. So I have to use Barrett. But there's this one mod I want to download that gives us Robin, and she's a fully voiced, professionally voiced.
You mentioned that.
Companion. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's a pilot, so
yeah, that's up your alley. Kilo, what are you been up to, man?
Oh, lots. I'm gonna touch on something that it was a conversation that I believe I was having with Mossy in the Discord. We're looking for some options as far as trying to fix this ladders and doors problem, and no, there's not a mod for it yet on the Creation Club. I've looked, but
yet being a keyword.
Yet I will be looking for it every day. the technique that was suggested was using equipment plates to force ladders. And I found a couple of problems with that. One, it's not reliable. It doesn't always work. And two, it also forces your doors to spawn in really, really strange ways, which just makes the whole situation worse. I've also tried portholes I've also tried portholes and weapon mounts, but weapon mounts you can walk through in between doors, and which is real fun. And then the portholes do not, they block the way, but they glitch into, like, they clip into your hab, so that's no point there. But and then over the weekend, I was putting out fires in my own Facebook group, Starfield Shipyards, no mods, still no salt. We ultimately decided not to include mods, keep our group pure. So if you're into that, come see us. It was a lot of debate and everything going on both Sunday and Monday that we had to deal with. So I want to talk briefly about mods. I'm going to make this quick because I know we're short on time, but I did a lot. I played with a lot of mods, especially on Fallout 4, actually both Fallout 4 and Skyrim, quite a bit. I'm not an expert on everything. I can only give you advice based on my own experience. There are a lot of great mods out there, but as we mentioned earlier, the paid mods are going to be more secure. They're going to be more stable, but there's a lot of great free ones out there. But there's a couple of things that you need to know if you've never modded before. Here's my advice: one at a time. It's a long process. If I sit down and decide to mod my game, I better have all day to do it. Especially because, well, not so much with Starfield, but with the previous games, I did a lot, and I usually maxed out what the Xbox was able to handle. You have to watch your load orders, read descriptions entirely, read the comments underneath.
Do your research.
Do your research, yes, because they will tell you what issues will be popping up with it, if any. Load order matters. Anything that the effects. Go ahead.
I used to be a video game designer. It's no secret. Who I worked for, that's a secret. I approach mods the same way I did level designing in games. I actually write out a document called a design document, or the LDD, level design document, which outlines everything that you want to do, and you want to stick to that, like it's the Bible of what you're doing. And when you before you add something into your mod, write it down, and that way you can cross-reference everything to make sure everything's going to work correctly. So you have that point of reference.
Yep. Absolutely.
Speaking of load order, the mystery Gravitas uniform that you can get from the Creation Club thing, for free, it has to be the last thing in your load order. If it doesn't say that anywhere. I had to look this up. It took me a while to figure it out. It has to be the last thing in your load order, otherwise it will not show up on the floor in your room in the lodge.
Yeah. A lot. It's just the way that everything interacts with each other. Like, there's the mod that's the Starfield community patch. This is something that we saw in previous games, and it is a mod fix to a lot of bugs that are in the game. That is going to affect everything in the game. You want that high. If you want to change Sarah's hair, you want it down low. So just be careful, go slow, go bit by bit. If you just go like, oh yeah, click, 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 that looks great, you're going to crash your game. It's not going to work, or you're going to have some weird oily effects on water, or God knows what else. So just be careful, take your time with that. Now, that being said, there is another, if you're not at your console, there is another resource for you to explore mods, and that is Bethesda.net, which you can log into and then connect to your Microsoft account. You go through their mod list. There's a little menu, pull it down, mods and creation, pull it down, Starfield, and you can scan through all the mods that are available on Xbox or through Creation Club. And then you can go through and add them to your library as you see them. And all it does is just put them in this little file that you'll find when you get back into the game. And then you can decide whether or not you want to download them, how you want to order them, things like that. But that's actually a lot of what I did at work today was, well, because we're doing this episode, as I went through and I was just all these mods. And no, there's not CBBE yet, but I guarantee that's coming. So be patient. Yeah. So And then some of my favorite ones that I found, Avon Tech, which is the one that Wigit mentioned, the Starfield community patch I just mentioned. 65,000 vendor
A little
credits. No
caveat to
ain't
using a patch like the Starfield community patch is that when
mm-hmm.
Bethesda decides to fix it, that can cause some serious issues.
Cause
so
issues.
Before
Yes.
each update, uninstall that.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's actually a good point. Absolutely. Here's one that a lot of people like: no angry companions. Okay,
That's
Sarah does not
cheap.
dislike that anymore.
Anything that goes
Sarah
in the
does not
realm of
dislike that
cheating,
anymore.
I stay away from personally.
Yeah, that one's in the realm of cheating.
You don't want to do easy temples widget for those power runs?
Nope, as it goes against the
No,
core of the
not
game.
so much.
Mm-hmm.
How about Star Wars aliens in the game?
There's a mod. I found it. What is it? The Chiss?
There's one called Star Wars aliens.
For there is there really? I didn't see that one. I saw one where you can make your
It looks like it has 3 likes. It's been bookmarked 231 times and been used 1,082 times.
Wow. I found the one where you can become the blue skin guys from Star Wars. I can't remember what their name is. Yes. Yeah, that's the one. But anyways, I did start the tracker alliance, as I mentioned earlier, because I was very surprised by my scanner. Again, I won't be spoiling anything. And I think we actually went over a lot of what I was going to be mentioning. Going into, I will say, no, it's all good. I will say, going into Trackers Alliance missions, familiarize yourself with some good energy weapons, because I carried a Beowulf all around that first mission, and it was, I mean, I did it, but it didn't make my job any easier.
Yeah.
The other thing that I thought was interesting
just thought about this
was
that 0G mission we have to do, the first one for Trackers Alliance.
Yeah.
It's the only time I've seen this entire game where Space Adept actually has use.
Yep.
That doesn't work on top of your, like, when you're boarding ships and things like that?
But that's minimal.
Oh. Well, what are you going to do? I got to put this out there because I just think it's cool. I don't think it's too big of a spoiler, but when you complete that first mission, the leader, gives you your call sign, and you got a little list of call signs. Yeah, which I thought was cool. I'm Raven, by the way. Nice to meet you all.
Hey, I'm Raven 2.
Hey! Raven
Shadow.
1 and Raven 2.
There you go.
I think I was Shadow, yeah.
Shadow and the Ravens. Sounds like a bad punk band name.
Right.
But yeah, that was pretty much right. That was pretty much my my playthrough. Father's Day weekend. I think I'm going to get some Bethesda credits and try out some of this stuff. I definitely want to get the Vulture.
Yeah, I'm going to be buying some more credits because I've just used 1,000 free that we got for the edition we got. And I got the free ones. So there's some that are paid that I have my eye on. So I'm going to buy those credits because I'm all for supporting these people, and I'm going to enjoy it.
My mods, listen, based on what I saw today, and obviously this will change. These mods, there's new ones coming out every day. There's an option on Bethesda.net. You can search by new. There's not a whole lot that I really want to change about the game. I'm not... back in Fallout 4, like, I changed Kate's appearance. I changed Piper's appearance. I got all this new... I got the U.S. Army uniforms, stuff like that. I don't really have the desire to do a lot of that stuff in this game. There's not really a lot necessarily right now that, for me personally, I want to add in. But that will probably change, I'm sure, as more mods come out.
My play was...
That's it for my playthrough.
Different. So...
Different.
Yeah. I finally got to level 3 in demolition skill, so I got the 50 kills. And to get the level 4, I need 100 more kills.
Is that it?
Yeah, I cried a little bit inside.
3 months. Here in about 3 months, we'll get an update saying that you maxed out demolitions.
Well, I've already got to 30 kills because I've been using the Bridger, doing it skillfully. Just get it done. But it's nice though. It's nice, and I can't wait to double up all the damage and everything. It's gonna be awesome. I did the Mantis. And I had to reload the game 5 times to get the suit I wanted. And it actually come out to, when I add everything together, far better than the tier 10 Starborn suit I was using. Got some really good stats on it.
Wow.
And I don't care about the look. I'm just going to use it. And I got the Razor Leaf because I want to use that as my base for the new ship I was going to build once I got the credits for it. So my first build in several months. And so I decided to build my outpost on Vessel 3B, like I always do. because I get XP and goodies from it, and I make a lot of money. Yeah,
Nice.
about that. You gotta have to find a spot that has aluminum and iron in the same location, right? I spent 3 hours looking for said spot,
I
going
believe it.
all over that planet, every which way, every which tip. I got so frustrated with it, and then right as I was doing that, the patch dropped. So of course I had to shift my focus and started instantly going to the
Trackers Alliance.
yeah, that one. I completely bravehearted. That was weird. I'm staring at it right in front of my face. But before I did that, though, I actually went in and got my mods. So I got the Enforcer Tactical Pistol, which adds a new gun to the game. I haven't found one yet. I got the Vulture, obviously. The Observatory, which is a free Bethesda mod. Aventech, Shipyards, because it's awesome. And I believe that one's free, too.
That one's free, yeah.
And the Starborn suit one, obviously. That's what I'm playing with right now. I haven't gotten Starborn suit. I'm going to check it out next time I get in game. But I've been busy. I did all the Tracker Alliance, and like you were talking about, the 0G sucks as a stealth sniper because you can't go stealth. And you're trying to shoot a moving target in 360 degrees. It's not a pleasant experience. It was a challenge, and I did it, but still was not fun. And trying to find the bodies after you hit him with a 50 caliber, also a big challenge. I did the Vulture. Not to spoil anything, but he's hiding on a ridge at one point early in the quest line, very far away. And as soon as I was able to move, I turned around, took one shot, and hit him in the head. When you see this first distance that you have to do, it was impressive.
Yeah.
And his health went down to nothing,
yeah.
and he just ran.
Oh.
And I had no problems killing him at the end either. Now his little buddies with him that were all level 105 plus, that was more interesting.
Oh, okay.
Thankfully, they didn't have as good weaponry as he did. The weapon at the end, I am not going to use it yet. I'm going to hang on to it until I build up my energy weapons more, and then I'm going to use it. So I'm really curious about it.
Yeah.
I did research, like I said, all 3 ammo, and I built my first ship finally. I had 510,000 credits, and I spent 500,000.
Did you glitch?
Nope. Of course
Why
I
not?
didn't. I never do.
Join the
And my
dark
ship
side.
is awesome.
Okay,
Mind
I
you,
gotta admit, I glitched.
Oh, oh no.
Rook, I am ashamed.
I had to because it looks
with
really
cookies.
cool with it glitched. The only glitch I did was the drop glitch.
Now,
Of course it does.
I did use a mod. I used Aventech. I used Aventech engines, and I used their fuel tank for that cool glow effect, and the engines are really good. Not the best, but they're not overpowered, but they're really good. So I got those in there, and I used the new landing ones that look awesome. But I now have the Death Leaf. I still have to...
Nice.
I had 10,000 credits to my name, so I didn't do everything I wanted to do on it. But I got all the goodies. I got all my weapons set on there. I got my shield. I got the top of the line, a reactor, whole 9 yards. It's a beast.
That's awesome.
So when I get the money, I'm going to actually start working on the aesthetics of it more, make it look really, really cool. I put pictures up in our Discord, so you can check that out.
Yeah, looks good.
It's all right.
Looks good. I was telling
right.
I was telling Wigit before the show that it is worthy. It is a good build.
Thank you.
It is definitely good. The name is metal as hell. It sounds like we should have a Serenity sound clip leads into a heavy, guitar.
Right.
I am a leaf on the wind.
Death Leaf.
Death.
Oh, and on my lunch break today, I finally found a spot on Vessel 3B that had iron and aluminum.
Wow.
Finally. So I built my outpost, and now I'm doing that with my new ship, and it's awesome.
Cool. That is awesome. That's a good playthrough. That's a good week. I think we had a good week, guys.
Yeah, very good. Even though I didn't get as much time to play as I wanted to, I got so busy. But now I'm sick, so I'm going to be playing it more. I'm supposed to go fishing this weekend, but I may have to cancel because I am not feeling well.
It was with who?
Yeah.
Budsky or... It was with Budsky, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Budsky, we're going to have to cancel this weekend. Sorry, buddy. Let's reschedule.
I told him
Maybe get a hold of him before the episode drops.
And I need to tell him as soon as I can, but I want to see how I feel tomorrow.
Right. Yeah.
But by that time, you'll know before the episode drops.
So 2 posts above your picture, you'll see my little ship that keeps getting owned by a hyena. That poor little thing. That. It's in the in-game pictures.
Yeah.
I'm headed towards it right now.
Little tiny thing. Yeah, not surprised you're getting owned.
Oh, it's so cute.
Like a little helicopter without the blades.
It's adorable.
It's almost like an Apache.
It looks like a mini pelican or something. Yeah.
Sort of. I took inspiration from that.
That's a cool little build. Oh, look at those wings on there. Those are glitched in.
Yes, they are.
Trained eye. Trained eye.
I highly recommend the Avon tech, so you can do that without glitching.
I'll probably glitch with that one too.
Wigit is just gonna die on this hill. I just know it.
No, watch. Bethesda's gonna come out. Oh, by the way, now this is a legit thing you can do, and then he'll.
It is a legit thing. It's in the game. It's a legit thing.
No, it's not intended.
Yeah.
That's the term glitch.
If they didn't want to, what's the word I'm thinking of? If they didn't want us to be able to do it, they would have patched it out by now.
They would have patched it by now. Absolutely. They're not.
Yeah,
they're not. Look at Nomad's shot class.
They started doing this so early into the game that this glitch has been around since, I think, within the first months of the game.
On one of the big games I worked on, we did say, oh, that's a bug. Oh, they like it. Oh, okay, we're not going to fix it.
That's a feature.
We'll let them just have it as their bug.
Now, if they just make it where it's a legit thing instead of having to do that dumb style of trying to get it to glitch, that'd be great.
But I like building my ships full legit.
No, I'm saying if they would make it where you can just literally.
Legit.
No,
I'm talking about if they made it where you can actually just drop it down instead of having to time all your keystrokes right to get it to drop down.
Maybe it's the keyboard's your problem. I do it on controllers, fine. Takes 2 seconds, not even.
Yeah, but you have to highlight it and then drop and release at the same time, which is easy. Yeah. But why not just make it where I just hit down and it just drops without me having to time removing the key?
There's also the flip. There's also the variant. There's a ton of different ways to do this stuff.
Thus the glitch.
We're gonna do a glitch episode. I'm calling it because this has got to stop.
Well, next week I'm not going to be on the show, so you guys got to put up with these two.
Mice will play.
Mice will play
next week. The first episode I'm gonna miss, and it's gonna suck. But I got good plans, so I'm not gonna.
Don't worry.
We're gonna miss.
I'm taking my vacation.
You, but our aim's improving. Don't worry.
Don't worry. I'll get it all edited. There'll be a lot of beeps where there shouldn't be beeps.
Oh, you are not editing, sir. You're gonna record it. I'll edit.
Oh Lord.
All right, guys. This has been a lot of fun this episode, and this is gonna wrap it up. If you guys are interested and you want us to highlight your mods, please email us starfieldраw@gmail.com. and give us a link to your mod where we get it for free. We're not going to pay for a mod that someone wants us to feature. I'm sorry, we're not going to. And then we will check it out, give it a go, and if it's worthy, we will put it on the air for you guys and talk about it. Also, if you want to advertise with this show, starfieldраw@gmail.com. Our Discord is the best way to get a hold of us personally and enjoy the community and talk about everything, including glitching and not glitching.
We're all in there.
Discord.gg, as in...
Golf.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. That's the proper way to put it. /Raw Podcasts. That's plural. R.A.W. PODCASTS. Our Facebook, Raw Podcasts. Our Instagram,
Raw Podcast 1, because I had to be different.
He's just
quicker on the draw today.
I have Rook on standby every time now for that. He's waiting. You can follow us on Twitter @StarfieldRaw. And our main Twitter is @PodcastRaw.
Yes.
You can follow us individually as well. I am @TheWigit, THEWIGIT, no D in there. I'm talking to you. You know who you are.
All right, everybody. He is @TheWigit.
The Wigit.
That way too. On Instagram, I am AuthorWidget, AUTHORWIGIT.
You can find me almost everywhere as Tomcat213, especially on the Xbox Game Pass and PlayStation. Steam and X, I am @Rook213.
And I'm Kilo, and I'm @Kilo Tango 1122 everywhere.
Have a fantastic week and enjoy these new mods and toys.
Stay safe in the deepest black, y'all.
Leave no quarter, show no mercy. Matt, that was a good one, right? We like that one?